A very dangerous weather pattern is developing right now, and this is about to bring a lot more snow, extreme cold, and catastrophic flooding over the next several days. A fierce and long-lasting surge of Arctic air is going to sweep across dozens of states, delivering temperatures we rarely ever experience in the United States. Wind chills may plummet to 50 degrees below zero, with actual air temperatures dropping to 30 degrees below zero in parts of the Midwest, including Minneapolis. Even though the Arctic blast is stealing the spotlight, snow is not stepping aside. Multiple waves of fast-moving systems are lining up ready to drop fresh rounds of moderate to heavy snowfall across the northern plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley. These are classic Alberta clippers that come in quick and hit hard, which is perfect for creating hazardous travel right in the middle of this brutal cold spell. Winter weather is not the only major threat ahead, as catastrophic flooding is becoming a real concern. Most of next week, a powerful atmospheric river event is expected to slam into the Pacific Northwest, potentially unloading over a foot of rain in some areas. So, in today's forecast, we are going to break down exactly what you need to know about this extreme weather pattern that is developing right now. Now, the big story all week long is this major Arctic blast that is about to send life-threatening cold to a large portion of the Midwest and the northern plains. And it all begins tomorrow, as we are forecasting a widespread area across the northern plains and the Midwest who will have temperatures as low as 30 degrees below average. But Sunday morning is going to be a whole lot worse, because almost everywhere in the Midwest will have temperatures anywhere from 30 to 50 degrees below average, including Chicago, Minneapolis, Des Moines, back over towards Sioux Falls, and even towards Fort Wayne and Indianapolis. This is dangerous cold that we are talking about Sunday morning, especially for those that are outside without multiple layers on. Monday and Tuesday will not be much better. Even Monday, we are talking about significant cold across the Ohio Valley. This will reach all the way down into the southeast as we go into late Monday and Tuesday. And then, by around Wednesday of next week, that is when conditions are going to begin to improve across much of the United States, with above-average temperatures spreading out. Let me walk you through exactly how cold it is going to get over the next few days. Beginning with our temperatures for tomorrow morning, most areas in Minnesota and Wisconsin will be sub-zero. Our freezing line will make it down to Oklahoma tomorrow, but Sunday is a very different story. We are talking about significant, life-threatening cold for much of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. Chicago is only going to be 4 degrees Sunday morning. Minneapolis will be as cold as negative 14 degrees. Back over in Grand Forks and Fargo, negative 25 degrees. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a couple locations get to around 30 degrees below zero. Even across the Northeast, pretty cold for Sunday. And then, eventually by Monday, that cold air is going to continue to sink further down to the south. It will push towards Florida by around Monday morning, where we could see some freezing temperatures in far northern Florida, and then around sub-zero temperatures near Indianapolis. Indianapolis only 5 degrees for Monday morning. Now, if you are wondering how cold it is going to feel outside, this includes the wind. And this is where things get really dangerous. Wind chills all across the Midwest are going to be around 30 to 50 degrees below zero on Sunday morning. Minneapolis wind chills near negative 35 degrees. Fargo could see wind chills as low as negative 50 degrees. Chicago wind chills around negative 20 degrees. Milwaukee near negative 25. Green Bay wind chills around negative 30. This is dangerous cold. With wind chills, this low frostbite is possible in under 10 minutes of exposure to the elements. Please make sure on Sunday you are bundling up. Make sure all exposed skin is covered. Multiple layers are essential. This is not the kind of cold you want to take lightly. Don't be scared. Be prepared. We have seen this coming for a while now, and you have got time to get everything arranged. Now, we do have quite a bit of snow coming over the next 48 hours, and this will likely be our next decent shot of snow for the next 7 days. Look at this. We actually will have some snow falling across Michigan over the next 24 hours. This will accumulate to about 1 to 3 inches for most of you. A lot of this is just lake effect snow. As we go into early tomorrow morning, a new piece of energy is going to be coming over the Rockies. This is from our atmospheric river event that is happening in the Pacific Northwest. Picture here is Saturday morning. We will have some light to moderate snow near Des Moines all the way back into South Dakota. Generally speaking, for those areas, we are not expecting any significant accumulations. But as we go late into Saturday morning, that is when this band of snow is going to become a little bit more organized, and it is also going to get a bit more intense, which means our snow will get a bit heavier. By around lunchtime Saturday, back over near Springfield, Illinois, also near Indianapolis, this is where snowfall rates around 2 inches per hour are going to be on the table. Check out how this intensifies. During the afternoon, that snow is going to spread all across the Ohio Valley from northeastern Missouri back into western Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. All of Ohio will be seeing snow right around 3 p.m. on Saturday. And then by the evening, most of that snow is moving out of Indiana and Kentucky. But notice that the snow is going to continue all across parts of the Northeast, including New York City and as well as Maryland. What is interesting is that we can actually have some pretty heavy snow Saturday evening across New York City and even back into northern Maryland and even northern Delaware. This is not something that we have seen much of the last few winters. It is actually kind of surprising, but the last few winters we have seen very few snowflakes over here. We are going to have a good shot of snow here as we go into late Saturday and early Sunday. A lot of it will be falling during the overnight hours. Now, in terms of total snowfall accumulation, we are actually going to get a decent amount of snow from this second round of snow showers that will be moving through the Ohio Valley and the Midwest. And this is going to go on top of what we just saw yesterday. Most areas are going to be picking up at least 2 to 4 inches of snow. That does include Des Moines, where around 2 to 3 inches is on the table. Indianapolis will probably see right around 3 to 4 inches. But there will be plenty of spots in southern and even central Ohio, northern Kentucky, and southern Indiana that will pick up around 5 to 7 inches of snow. I think this is almost a little bit of an underestimate. I honestly think we will have some areas closer to 8 to 10 inches of snow when this is all said and done. It is going to be very localized, but if you are in southern central Indiana, that is where I think the jackpot is going to be. And then, across areas like western Michigan, we will be continuing to see some lake effect snow over the next couple of days. Appalachian Mountains likely going to see around 5 to 7 inches. And then, back over in the Northeast, this is an interesting area to say the least because if we do end up seeing that heavy snow like the American model was showing, I think a widespread 2 to 5 inches of snow is going to be on the table. And that would be all across southern New England, including New York City, where we could see around 4 inches of snow from this upcoming event, and then just north of Maryland as well. Back over in Pennsylvania, 3 to 5 inches of snow would be on the table. So decent amount of snow is on the way, especially for those in the New York City area that has hardly seen snow these last few winters. Let me break this down by region so you know exactly what to expect. If you are in the northern plains like North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota, this is going to be extremely dangerous cold. Saturday morning temperatures near negative 15 to negative 25. Wind chills negative 40 to negative 50 degrees. You also have another clipper bringing 3 to 6 inches of snow Friday night. Travel Friday night through Sunday is not recommended. Make sure you have emergency supplies if you must travel. Check your heating systems now. Make sure your vehicles are winterized. And please check on elderly neighbors during this extreme cold. If you are in the upper Midwest like Wisconsin and Michigan, Saturday morning, lows negative 5 to negative 15 degrees. Wind chills negative 25 to negative 40 degrees. Lake effect snow continues with an additional 6 to 12 inches possible downwind of Lakes Superior and Michigan. If you are in the typical lake effect belts, this is going to be very difficult travel conditions. Make sure you are stocked up on supplies, because if you live in one of those snowbelt areas, you could be dealing with this for several days. If you are in the Midwest and Ohio Valley like Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, you have snow Friday night into Saturday with 3 to 6 inches likely. Some areas in southern Indiana and Ohio could see 8 to 10 inches. The cold arrives Saturday with lows in the single digits, highs only in the teens. Wind chills Saturday morning near 0 to negative 10 degrees. Travel Saturday is going to be hazardous with the snow. Interstate 70, Interstate 65. Interstate 71. All of these are going to be impacted by heavy snow Saturday afternoon and evening. If you have travel plans, especially Saturday evening, please reconsider or at least delay your departure. If you are in the Northeast, like Pennsylvania, New York, and New England, Friday night into Saturday brings heavy snow. Interior sections 6 to 12 inches, coastal areas 2 to 4 inches. New York City could see around 4 inches, which would be significant for that area. The cold arrives Sunday with lows in the teens, wind chills near 0. If you have travel plans Saturday, especially in interior areas, consider postponing. The snow is going to make things very difficult, especially Saturday evening into early Sunday morning. If you are in the mid-Atlantic like Virginia, Maryland, and DC, light to moderate snow. Friday night into Saturday, 1 to 3 inches, with locally higher amounts possible just north of the DC area. Cold moves in Sunday with lows in the low 20s, wind chills in the teens. Not as extreme as further north, but still below average, and still enough to create some travel headaches, especially if you are traveling north into areas that are going to see heavier snow. Now, we will have the potential for some record-breaking low maximum temperatures as we go into Monday afternoon across the Great Lakes and also the Ohio Valley. We are forecasting around 40 to 50 different record-breaking cold temperatures to happen here over the next few days. This is significant. Some of these records have stood for decades. And then eventually by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we are right back to being warm again. It has been a while since we have had temperatures near the 70s and 80s in parts of Nebraska, and that is likely what is going to happen on Wednesday. Areas in central Nebraska could actually be approaching 80 degrees for the first time in weeks. This right here is the story of our fall meteorological winter so far. We have had this persistent troughing in the east and ridging in the west. This has led to a very cold pattern for millions of people in the east, especially up there around the Great Lakes. Well, I think that this pattern is finally about to break down. And the GFS model shows this quite well. Look at this. We are going to have this big Arctic blast this weekend into early next week, and then boom, that giant ridge in the west is going to take over and move across the entire country. The only place that is going to hang on to cold air is probably the extreme northeastern United States. For you weather nerds out there, this is textbook pattern breakdown. We are going to experience what I believe is the Great Thaw of December 2025. Check out these temperature anomaly maps. Some of the places that are going to be 40 degrees below average this weekend could be 30 to 40 degrees above average by next week. That is going to feel like quite the weather roller coaster. Now let me talk more about what happens as we get closer to the Christmas week. I know a lot of you are asking about this time frame. We are very far out, but we at least can get you an idea of what the temperatures may be like right around this time frame, as it is a little bit easier to predict pattern-wise. And I do think we are going to be seeing above average temperatures all along the southern tier of the country right around Christmas time. Below average temperatures are more likely than not if you are back up in the northern United States, which means that we could actually have a battle zone right around Christmas where snow, rain, and even severe weather could all be on the table right around then. We will have to wait and see what happens. It depends on a lot of different factors. And again, we are still about 13 days out from Christmas, so a lot can change between now and then. But the overall pattern suggests we are going to have some active weather potentially right around the holiday. Beyond this weekend, we are going to see a very bad weather pattern develop across the Pacific Northwest, which is going to lead to a load of rain and snow all week long. And we are talking about historic amounts of rainfall in areas like Washington and Oregon, which have already been hammered over the last 7 days from extreme rain that has led to major river flooding. And that is going to continue all the way through next week. However, if you are east of the Rockies, there is good news. There is really not a whole lot of weather coming up here over the next 7 to 10 days when it comes to big severe weather events or any big winter storms. That will probably change once we get closer to Christmas, but at least for right now, things are going to be a little bit quieter to begin next week after we get through this system. In terms of total rainfall accumulation across the Pacific Northwest, we are expecting a widespread 3 to 7 inches of rain all across Washington and Oregon. With some areas, it will pick up as much as a foot of rain. This is very dangerous because we have already been at major flood levels in a lot of rivers, and that will likely continue for parts of next week. I want to remind you that if you are in the Pacific Northwest, please stay alert for flood warnings. Do not attempt to drive through flooded roadways. Turn around, do not drown. This is a serious flooding situation that is going to unfold over the next week. So, to summarize, this winter storm will bring 3 to 6 inches of snow to the Midwest Friday night into Saturday, with localized amounts of 8 to 10 inches possible in southern Indiana and Ohio. That is followed by dangerous cold Sunday and Monday, with actual temperatures as low as negative 30 degrees across the northern plains and wind chills as low as negative 50 degrees. This is the coldest air of the season so far. Travel Saturday evening through Monday morning is going to be very hazardous. Make sure you are prepared with emergency supplies if you must travel. And then by Wednesday and Thursday of next week, that pattern flips completely, and we are looking at temperatures potentially near 80 degrees in parts of the Central Plains. Get ready for the Great Thaw of December 2025. If you are excited about this warm-up coming next week, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next one.